And the guy that's stopping by for a conversation and a drink today is a 4-time NBA All-Star, a 2-time All-NBA selection, a member of the 2014 FIBA gold medal winning team, and a member of the 2016 Rio gold medal winning basketball team, DeMar DeRozan. So don't think because someone can shoot a shot or catch a pass, they don't have issues.
Right.
And for you and Kevin Love and others to openly and honestly talk about it, that's a really positive thing. And I don't think you thought about that at the time.
I didn't.
But now, it's like, man, DeMar DeRozan, man, he in the league. And so for athletes, because athletes are human, for the longest time, like you said, how your daughters look at you as superhuman. Most people look at athletes as superhuman. Like, no, bro, they have issues. They go to things, they have, husband, wife, or, wife, husband have issues, and they have issues with kids, and they have issues with parents or friends. I got things going on. I need to talk. I need to just open up and be vulnerable.
Yeah, it's the most important thing now. And like you said, I didn't, even when I came out and did it, I did it, for my own selfish reasons.
Right.
Not knowing that, it'll help and motivate and inspire, the conversation or make people willing to be more vulnerable and talk about it, But once I seen that happen, I kind of got upset with myself, like, damn, why I wait so long? Why I didn't do something like this sooner to help somebody, because that's what it's about.
Either you got a roof over your head, you got food on the table, hell, I love you then. I don't need to tell you that. You eating, right? And so that was the approach, and then you kind of passed that down the line. And then you realize, like, hold on, nah, I don't really think, Papa, I don't really think, you did some good things, but I think I probably should tell my kids I love them. And that, and kind of stop this, that you're not a man if you show emotion or you become vulnerable.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of where it starts, to give that confidence and that comfort to be able to have these type of conversations, because hearing your experience, to be like, damn, I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? I heard the same thing from Sharp, man. Damn, like, now I can carry this over to the next person and, kind of keep it rolling. So that was kind of like my mental and my mindset after I opened up about it. And same type of conversation I had with Kevin Love. We spent some time together just having different conversations. It's like, even something like this would help me. It's like, I always tell people through real conversations, this is a therapeutic conversation. Where you could walk away from it and feel like, damn, I got something off my shoulder today and not even know it. You know what I mean? And it's like, that was the conversation I always try to get people to have. It's like, talk about it. You know what I mean? Because once you talk about it with somebody that you care about, and you kind of have that dialogue, you can sit there and talk for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, not knowing you done got so much off your chest that you never talked about. True.
So when did you realize that, man, I just don't feel like DeMar, I'm just not myself, but I don't really know what it is?
I mean, I dealt with that a lot, especially throughout my career. Especially the last few years, it's kind of been like the toughest of my career, but I always try to find things that motivate me, to help me, push me through. You know, and one thing has always been my daughters. You look at them, they could care less about DeMar, the athlete. You know what I mean? They look at you more so as they're a superhero. So
you're invincible.
Yeah, so in my mind, I always put in, like, I can't let them down. I know I don't feel like myself. I know I'm having a bad day. I may want to give up. I may want to just say, man, F all this. But, they look at you in a different light. And that for me, if I didn't have them, I don't know where I'd be. You know what I mean? That's my suppression. You know what I mean? Like you said, everybody's different. And I always tell people, you got to find something that you can lean on, that loves you unconditionally, and use that as your motivation to get through, because we all gonna go through something at some point.
Obviously, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And we got to have that extra push that we can lean on when times get hard. So that's something I always give.
Somebody, I really could leave and not come home. I mean, I can assure you, nobody in George Floyd's family thought that he was not going to return home that day. Philando Castile and Eric Garner and the Walter Scotts and the Sandra Blands and all those, the Terrence Crushers, Alton Sterling, nobody thought that, like, you know what, man, we're going to see them. We'll see them.
I see how scared they are to go to the store. You know what I mean? My little cousin go to the store if he gonna make it back because of the police. So much stuff to where it's my obligation to be able to talk about it and try to make change.
That's the thing about what you see, is because empathy it forces you to lose your ego because it puts you in another man's shoes.
Yeah.
For 1 second, you have to see yourself as another man, not as you.
Yeah.
Because if you only look at yourself as you straight.
Yeah. Yep.
I make this. I live here. Right.
You know, and it's not about the money. It's about what's right.
Right.
And a lot of these guys, just because we in the league, I still got a lot of friends and family that still live in these communities.
Right.
That I gotta hear, that I go visit, and I see it in them.
Becky Hammon. Obviously, she seems a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more fiery. Do you believe that she'll get an opportunity, if not this year, next year, to be a head coach in this league?
Yeah, for sure.
And what's it going to take? Because it's going to take someone with a really open mind to say a woman can coach men at the highest level.
Yeah. I mean, for me being on the other side, seeing Becky every single day, Becky, from top to bottom, when it comes to sports, she knows she knows the game.
Right.
Inside and out.
Right.
You know, from her scouts to player tendencies, and the way she relate with us. It's like, she one of us. You know, she plays. She one of the all-time greats in her sport.
Yes.
You know, so everybody respect her. Everybody look at her in that light. So for me, I don't think none of it like, oh, we got a woman coach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, you get a group of people who believe in her, they'll see and they'll get that feeling.
Yeah, but how do you break that ceiling? Because this is going to be unprecedented. I mean, this might be the equivalent of the first black. This might be the Jackie Robinson moment because we always knew. But I don't know. When I was growing up, I never thought a woman would coach men.
Right. Yeah.
That never even dawned on me, especially at the highest level.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that goes with everything that happens for the first time.
Right.
You know, it has to happen for us to have this conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's at that point to where it has to happen for it to be believable. And
right.
You look around in sports, not just basketball. You look around football. There's women involved in some type of way. You have women referees in the NFL. Nobody never thought that.
True.
But it happened.
Yes.
You know, now it's normal once it happened.
Right.
Now it's moving forward. You kind of forget about it. It's a woman ref out there. Right. So it's just that next step if somebody want to take that. I never would have thought if you would have asked when I was young, you would see big step back three. You never imagine that. You know, I tell a lot of young guys now who don't realize that. I remember you used to have to have a power forward and a center on the court. You have to have a power forward and a center on the court. You know, only person who used to shoot threes was the specialist who shot threes. You know what I mean? Look at a lot of games back
then. Dale Curry of those nature. They were specialists.
They were specialists who shot the threes.
Right.
You look at games now, like you said, it's like 35 to 40 threes getting shot.
Yes.
You know, back in the day, you're seeing all these guys just competing for a championship.
I hear a lot of guys say that. I've heard a lot of guys in baseball and basketball and football say it's all about winning. But they normally end up going to the team that pays them the most money. Is it all about winning? Or, you want to get compensated too while winning?
I mean, you try to meet the fine line.
You try to balance it.
You try to balance it as best as you can.
Right.
But at this point, you gotta weigh out the opportunity of winning a championship kind of more. You know, especially with the career I had. I've been fortunate to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at this point, your ultimate goal is always to compete for a championship.
How much pressure is it on American basketball when you go play international? Because you're supposed to have the supreme players. Yeah. You got the best. Out of the top 10 players in the NBA, you're probably going to have anywhere between 8, 9, 7, and 10, something of that nature. Yeah. So you go to FIBA, 2014, you play in the Olympics. How much pressure? Do you feel the pressure? Do you know what's expected of you?
For sure, because it's always hostile territory.
Right.
Every single country.
Everybody want to beat the Americans.
Yeah, everybody. Like